Hello my fellow homo sapiens. You can now join my channel as a member to get exclusive perks like early access to videos, private community posts, and more. You can also now use super features for priority response from me. I also have a Patreon page that I put extra content on, including reactions, sins, Reddit stories, and more. If you want to fly yourself even deeper into the endless void of internet content, I've got you covered.
No, this ain't a hobby, I ain't come to play. Time to get this talent here up on display. They lacking on the action and I come to spray. And you gon' catch around if you up in my way. Put me in the game and I'ma shoot it up. Coach had always said I had a shooter's touch. Put me in the game and I'ma shoot it up. Coach had always said I had a shooter's touch. Gemini, double dragon in the game with contra ammo. These streets of rage and kill the conscience till we talk like Rambo. I'm wrestling the bright and shade while I'm fighting Sambo. Don't see they tune you out the picture, no soprano. Got a shooter's touch, make rounds to the net. I do it much, locked into the game. Are you in touch? Labels calling us to get the views enough, and we can use the bucks.
We went looking for a home. Found nothing but violence.
I'm not saying the Skrulls have had it easy, but they only spent 2 years searching the entire universe for a new home.
Blaming the victims. Also, you're basically saying that they didn't look hard enough, or at least that's what it sounds like you're saying, and that exposes how little you pay attention. The Skrulls were fighting for survival even after their home planet was taken from them. The Kree essentially hunted them down, so you say they only spent 2 years looking for a new planet, but the reality is that they spent so little time because of the pressures they still faced.
This man,
Who is currently too busy starring in a Captain Morgan commercial to face you like a normal human.
Discount Jeremy makes a Captain Morgan reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
Carol Danvers and I will find you a new one.
Kind of feel like if you're making this big a promise, then Carol Danvers should be with you. Or are you making the promise without her? Come on, Disney, you ponied up to D.H. Samuel L. Jackson again. Call in Brie Larson for a cameo, so this makes sense.
It does make sense. Remember in Avengers Endgame when she mentioned how there are tons of planets that need protecting? Yeah, she's doing her job right now. If she was here, you'd probably complain about how she isn't doing her job.
You couldn't wait until you left the scene of the crime to transform?
He says this as if it has any effect on anything. Seriously, what's the point of the sin? He clearly knew that nobody was watching him due to the chaos all around them, so he transformed, and guess what? Nobody noticed.
Me and my mama used to take these long train rides to Detroit.
I like this scene of Nick Fury telling this story a lot. It's probably one of my favorite moments from his character. And while I'd love to remove a sin for it, I'm also frustrated it took us this long to humanize a character that's been in the MCU since 2010. Much like Black Widow, Fury needed his own project way before he finally got it. And the MCU is worse for it.
Discount Jeremy sin something he likes cliche. Also, while I might agree that Nick Fury deserved his own property earlier, the part about it taking this long to humanize him is really dumb. I mean, he's been humanized and characterized several times before now. The example that comes to mind off the top of my head is the story he tells Captain America during Winter Soldier, which isn't about him, but still contextualizes the people he grew up around.
Host gets to set the terms of the visitation.
Assuming you're the host of the entire world.
Humanity is the host of Earth. Wait, what is this sin? Does he think Fury is claiming that he alone is the host? That's dumb, seeing as Fury very obviously just represents humanity in this scenario.
There's not enough room or tolerance on this planet for another species.
So I guess Nick Fury completely forgot about New Asgard then? They got a whole city when their world was destroyed, but Earth can't handle Skrulls because of hate or some shit?
Two things here. First, the Asgardians very closely resemble humans in terms of appearance, so tolerance would be much wider spread for them. Second, there were far fewer Asgardians to settle than there are Skrulls.
Introducing a character just to make me sadder, another character died.
Pointing things out on the screen.
So, you're the reason I'm taking my daughter back home in a box.
I know you're looking for someone to blame, but don't point the finger at the one guy giving you what you ask for. If you're looking for someone to blame, Elizabeth, blame Marvel.
I love how he complains about her assigning blame when Fury literally told her that it was his fault. Taking things out of context and deceiving your audience is what makes these people tick.
Playing the man's game, using the man's fork and knife.
Are there Skrull eating utensils you'd prefer they use? Digging on fancy clothes and wine makes sense, but insulting the use of cutlery doesn't. Because now I'm just wondering if there's a Skrull version of the spork.
He didn't insult anything. He just made an observation that the other dude was using another dude's fork and knife. What the hell?
I like dogs. They don't go out of their way to degrade and destroy their own habitat.
I love my corgi to death.
Skip.
You'll note, Fury never gave you a timetable for his promise. And if there's no deadline, he could technically still keep it a decade from now.
Dude, that's the point. Talos still trusts Fury because he knows that Fury still plans to keep his word, but the villains are impatient and jumping the gun. That's why they're villains.
You ever stop and think about how incredibly lucky Gravik is that the Eternals stopped the Earth from being destroyed to give birth to a Celestial? The new Skrull homeworld would have been f***ed otherwise. F***ing Eternals.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be sitting Secret Invasion right now? Yeah, you are, so there's no reason to be bringing up Eternals. This is yet more padding the sync count and runtime.
We need a single commander whose war power is total and unchecked.
What the sh**? Is this Prime Minister about to pull a Jar Jar Binks?
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
Council just voted him general.
Maybe wait until your car gets here before calling Gravik's opponent to rat him out. I know he said you could go in peace, but that won't stop Emilia Clarke from mowing you down.
Except it does stop them from mowing her down, so what's your point? Yeah, it was an attempt at a joke about Emilia Clarke being Daenerys and killing a bunch of innocent people in Season 8 of Game of Thrones, but if you're gonna make an attempt at a joke, at least make it funny.
Are they cheering him being named Skrull General? Because that news must have traveled super fast. Or are they cheering the successful terrorist attack? In which case, too soon.
They're cheering for him becoming general. And yeah, the news traveled fast because that's how news like this works. Gravik would want the news to reach their compound quickly so that his power would be solidified as quickly as possible.
Snooping in plain sight. No one can see me for some reason. Snooping, not even crouch, just snooping.
Discount Jeremy tries to sing in a video cliche.
27 EU heads of state, plus the British Prime Minister, have all but commanded Washington to account for itself.
You see, this is what makes news positions so pointless. You could just begin the next scene with Rhodes being interrogated and we put all this information together. We didn't need the force feeding. Sometimes your audience is smart enough to put things together from context clues. So stop the unnecessary hand-holding in what's supposed to be my Super Spy MCU series.
Wait a minute. Just hold on for a second. Did the TVSins writers just complain about a series holding the audience's hand? The people who are incapable of comprehending children's shows and require every single minute detail of a show to be spoon-fed to them are complaining about exactly what they ask for in every video? You can't make this shit up.
I was there trying to stop the attack.
Oh, well, excellent job at that, by the way. 2,000 dead so far.
It bears repeating just how badly Fury f***ed this up. Not only did he fail to stop the attack, he also failed to stop them from getting the bomb in the first place and stopped a much more competent security agency from preventing the attack to begin with. There's putting Fury in a bad spot, and then there's completely neutering Fury's competency to the point we wonder how he was ever in charge in the first place.
This is a fundamental misunderstanding of the show. Fury screwed up big time here, that's true, but you questioning how he was ever in charge to begin with is very telling. Fury was always extremely competent, but after Thanos happened, he completely changed. He withdrew from many of his resources and isolated himself, which made him rusty at this stuff. All of this is characterization, it's not a sin of the episode.
Maybe we should call our friends.
No. We can't jump the gun on that.
Okay, but maybe call just one of them? Don't you know a blonde woman who has lots of experience with zooming around the galaxy and dealing with Skrulls?
This sin is absolute gold. They cut out the part of the scene where Fury explained his reasoning for not calling any of the Avengers. The Skrulls could, and most likely would, end up transforming into them and then framing them for terrorist activity, making the entire world hate the Avengers and not trust them. It's very easy to contradict something from the show when you remove the show's justification.
We protect the planet by protecting our seat at the table.
Oh, the table? Was John Wick in the MCU this entire time?
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture.
Unnecessary bone break. You've got his gun already. And he's in the UK, so it's going to take him forever to get seen by a doctor.
Complaining about Nick Fury being a badass? Yeah, that's definitely worth a sin.
This series just feels like a reason for Samuel L. Jackson to indulge in his hat fetish. He wears a lot of different hats is all I'm saying.
And you think that's a bad thing? Look at this guy. He wears the shit out of hats.
Fury needs a nap, and apparently all these agents just quiet quitted capturing him.
What are you talking about? Who is trying to capture Fury in this scene? Rhodey made arrangements for him to be flown out of the UK, but he's not arresting him. Why are you just making stuff up? Oh, because it makes it easier to come up with sins.
Where is your safe
face now!
Torturing a guy in a meat locker cliche.
That's not a cliche.
Your mother ever warn you could lose an eye by beating your meat like that?
We've got masturbation jokes, y'all.
This complaint coming from the guy who makes countless cringeworthy sex jokes in most of his videos. Hypocrisy is hypocritical.
Wait in the car. Keep the engine running.
Is this why you brought Emilia Clarke into this project? To sit outside meeting rooms and inside the car waiting? Because it seems like a waste of Daenerys Stormborn of the House Targaryen, the first of her name, Queen of the Andals in The First Man, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, the Breaker of Chains.
Did he say first man? Don't you mean first men? Dude, you can't even pop culture right. Also, Discount Jeremy has never heard of getaway drivers. Also, Discount Jeremy makes a pop.
Where the f*** is that hook thing she said across the door? Did the show forget it existed?
That's a genuine continuity error. Well done, TVSins. Well done.
Look, he's changing his hat again. We get it. Your haberdashery game's on point. That's enough, Samuel.
Yet more padding the scene count and runtime.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Scene does not contain a Frozone asking his wife where the supersuit is.
Discount Jeremy makes a...
Okay, this just makes me think of stuff like, if you married a shapeshifter, is it wrong to make her shapeshift during sexy boom boom time? Shouldn't you just be super into her base form? And if you ask them to change who they look like, is that role play, or are you giving them an inferiority complex? And what about asking them to shapeshift their, interdimensional portal? Would it be offensive to ask for a change of size?
You know, I could just pull you apart, limb by limb, make you tell me.
Nah, that'd be worthless. Victim always goes into shock. You got to start small. Fingers, toenails, ears.
He's my son, William.